Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Divine Truth Tarot. So today I actually performed a Celtic spread. I've done this in advance just for the purposes of time. Actually did this a couple hours ago, but I'm going to share it with you guys and I am going to just explain what's going on. So my camera will not, it's just my iPhone camera, so it's not going to capture the whole spread here. So I'm just going to be holding up the cards like I normally do. If anybody has any advice as to what mount I can get for my phone that will allow me to have that kind of peripheral view of the cards, I would love to know because I don't really know anything about that kind of stuff. So let me know, just leave a comment below or you can email me because I would really like one. You know, the other tarot card readers and they have that, it's like that bigger perspective that allows you to capture all the cards. I really prefer that versus you guys seeing me, but here I am. So welcome to my channel. If you guys are new, have a look around. I am a twin flame reader. I am a divine feminine on the path to union. And I'm here today to talk about what's going on in the DM's world, but specifically with karmic situations. If you'd like a personal reading, reach out to me. There's an email listed in the description box below each video. I also offer true purpose readings, true purpose coaching sessions, as well as distant Reiki healing, which has been pretty popular right now with everything that's been going on in the world. And for anyone who's donated to my channel, I see a few items on my Amazon wish list that have been checked off. Thank you so much in advance. I really appreciate that, guys. I've gotten some amazing decks so far and I'll use them all on the channel. So thank you so much for all of your support, your likes, your shares, your subscribes, and all of that. So let's get into today's video. So I asked what was going on with the karmic situations for the divine masculines. And we are going to start with the first card, which is basically the querent's mind, right? This is the person that we're asking about. This is their mindset, what's currently going on for them. This is kind of like the overall significator, of the reading. We've got conditioning. So you see a herd of sheep there and you see the lion and the sheep, but the lion is tethered. The lion is not free. And this is so interesting because this to me speaks of the divine masculines feeling stuck and feeling as if they cannot escape their current 3D situations or lives. Feeling like, you know, and we've been talking about this for a long time, the divine masculines energetically have had some sort of pull, you know, whether it's them finishing out karmic cycles and there's a karmic lesson still to be mastered in that relationship. It's going to be different for each situation. But this is really interesting that this is the mindset that they're in. So there's some serious past life conditioning going on here, inner child conditioning, you know, conditioning from childhood from their parents, where they're feeling guilt and shame for wanting to leave the pack. That's what I'm hearing. And they're being tied down by their own conditioning. This is the mental battles that the divine masculines experience. The battle of should I leave or should I stay? They tend to follow their minds and not their hearts. So the task of the divine masculine in this lifetime is to tap into their heart and follow the call of the heart, which is of course going to lead them back to their divine feminine. So I thought that was such a very powerful card to have in that position. Now, the second card we have is the obstacle. So this would be the main obstacle. We have intensity. And you can see here in this card, these cards are so powerful with the illustrations that there's a form. This is a person, but it almost looks like just a form, if you will, not even really a human being, pushing through several triangles and pushing through and trying to get to the other side, almost as if he or she was wrapped in saran wrap and just like cellophane and unable to get through. There's intensity. So the obstacle is the intensity of the situation. I feel like I'm getting hot talking about it. There's a lot of heated arguments, which that shows up later in the reading. There's just a lot of heated intensity and debates and arguments about what to do. And I feel as though the divine masculines have really been shut down. I don't know if you guys heard my voice just then kind of get shaky. That happens almost every time I talk about the divine masculines. But their voices have been pushed down. It's as if they don't matter and they don't get to have an opinion. And they're feeling tied down because of past life, you know, essentially past life It's more than just conditioning. It would take a whole reading or more to even describe it or explain it, but it's essentially as if the divine masculines in ancient lifetimes have been basically chained to these karmic cycles. So there's a feeling that the divine masculines feel like they actually are trapped. So they are definitely still going through that. There's tower moments, which is going to show up in just a moment. And there's just so much intensity at home that it's hard for them to breathe. It's hard for them to catch their breath. It's hard for them to rest. It's hard for them to remember what it was even like to be with a divine feminine at this time. What it was like to feel that peace and serenity and acceptance and love from the only person who's ever loved them in that capacity and really just accepted them in that capacity. So that's an intense card, right? Intensity, it's an intense card. But this is what yeah, they're having problems when they speak their truth. It creates intensity in their home situations, in these karmic situations. But this is what they need to overcome, is the intensity. They need to move past this into calmer waters. Now, the next card we have is the influences. So we've got the dream. And what's really interesting about this is I've been saying for a while that I think the divine masculines are astral traveling and they're dreaming about their divine feminines. And they're not saying much at all in the 3D. They're not really owning up to anything in the 3D. Not even really what's going on with their situation, because they feel guilt and shame, and they feel like they failed. They feel like failures. But they're being influenced by their dreams at this time, and it's almost as if this is the karmic partner looking on to the divine feminine, the divine masculine, and she's looking on. And I wouldn't doubt if the karmic partner has even had dreams of the divine feminine. I'm really feeling like the karmic partners are now fully aware of the divine feminine. And it might not even be that the divine masculine even admitted to having you in his life or her life. It could just be that the karmic partner sensed something, because when you have a connection this powerful and a love that transcends time and space, like the twin flame connection, and I just saw 717 on my clock, so physical union, being on the right path, just confirmation of what I just spoke. When you have that kind of intensity of that connection, you cannot hide it. It cannot be hidden. And I remember saying to my divine masculine, I will not be hidden. And that was coming from, past lifetime conditioning for me of being hidden, of not being able to speak my truth and not being able to live my truth. And I am not to do that in this lifetime. And this connection is not meant to be hidden. This connection is meant for the world to see it. It's meant for us to be shouting it from the rooftops and sharing it with friends and family. And even if, and in spite of whether or not they understand or they even comply with it, it doesn't matter. But I do feel like this is the karmic partner feeling left out in the cold. And I do feel like this is definitely influencing the fighting and the tower moments that's going on at home for the divine masculine, because there's no way they can hide the divine feminine and the love they feel for him or her at this time. So they've tried, but it's not working. So we have beyond illusion for the root of the issue, or the subconscious. So what's happening is the divine masculine's higher self is taking them beyond the illusion, right? They're starting to, if they haven't already, fully removed the mask that they've been wearing with the karmic partner. And what this has done is created so much chaos and upheaval, because the karmic partner is like, who are you? How dare you say that to me or act that way? You've always complied with my wishes. And all of a sudden, the divine masculine is no longer complying with their wishes. They're speaking up for themselves. They're saying, this is what I want and I deserve to be happy. And that's why I strongly feel like the divine feminine has been brought up in conversation several times over the course of this quarantine for these couples. And the divine masculine is just no longer willing to mask his feelings, and he's no longer willing to pretend that everything is going smoothly and everything's okay. He no longer wants to just live a life that's okay. He wants to live a life where he is truly happy and he feels truly loved. He's starting to realize that this life is false and fake, and that is no way to live. So the next card we have is the Tower card, Thunderbolt. Now, this speaks to the energy of the past, okay? This speaks to the energy of what led to this current situation? Towers. I mean, this isn't one tower, this is multiple towers. This also speaks to this aha moment, these lightning bolt moments, thunderbolt moments of realizations, moving beyond the illusion, where the divine masculine started to realize, wait a second, my life is a lie. I've been living a lie this entire time. I can't believe it. So there's shame and guilt. And they know that they have to move beyond this home life because they know that it's not healthy. They know that it's not who they truly are. And there's a sense of burning away the past version of themselves here as well. And you see this person, this figure sitting in meditation while these towers are happening. There's a sense of them feeling like they're an observer watching their life just crumble in front of them at this time. These towers are extremely, extremely powerful. The universe stepped in, guys. The divine masculines weren't budging. They were hemming and hawing. They were indecisive. And the universe stepped in and said, you know what? I'm not going to allow this to happen. I'm not going to just continue to sit back and watch when there is a divine partner that's in waiting, when there is a world to be saved, a planet to evolve, when there's a whole nother consciousness out there that the twins are and star seeds and way showers, light workers are leading the world into. The divine masculine was just, they waited too long, and so the tower moments came, and they're coming one right after the other. That's why I've been saying send them love, because this is not the time to blame them or shame them. They have enough of that. They are pouring enough of that onto themselves. This is not the time to block them. This is not the time to be cruel or mean or demanding of them. They're going through it, guys. This is proof, okay? And even though this is past energy, time is fluid, and this is definitely starting to, or this is definitely still the energy that I'm feeling at the present time. Now, we have awareness for the future energy. So I really love this because it's like, after the tower moments, right, we have this awakening. After the tower moments, the divine masculine is like, okay, I finally get it. I finally understand. There is a taking off of the mask. There is an emergence of the higher self coming through here, of the Buddha self, the Buddha nature. There's definitely a sense of a rebirth here. Now, there is a rebirth card that's separate in this deck, but I feel a strong rebirth energy in this card as well. This is the awakening card. This is the aha moment that comes after every tower moment. That's why tower moments are seemingly the end of the world for us. And then we have a breakthrough. So this is that breakthrough moment that's like, oh my gosh, I know why I met my twin flame. I know exactly what I'm supposed to do now. I know what matters in my life. I know what is important to me. And I have a plan. This is about a plan towards action. Finally, divine masculine. So the next card we have is, this was interesting to me, participation. So this is their attitude. This is the divine masculine's attitude and how they've responded to this current situation. So I thought participation, okay, so they're actively participating. That was my first thought. Why are they actively participating in something that's causing them so much harm and so much sadness and anger and just being distraught and feeling like giving up? I mean, why would you participate in that? So I asked for a clarifier and I got the burden. So this is spirit showing me that the masculines have been actively participating in creating this burden in their life. They could have made different choices, and they're aware of that now. That awareness, they're realizing, wow, I could have chosen differently. But instead of shaming themselves or, making themselves feel guilty or allowing the karmic partner to make them feel guilty for wanting to change and wanting to be happy, the divine masculine is starting to have ownership of his life, his or her life, and realizing, wait a second, this burden was self-induced. I have chosen this. I could have walked away many times and I chose not to. So I am an active participant in my life and I need to own up to that. So that's the way I read that. Now, the next card we have is the integration card. So this is about the environment. This is about external factors. We see the swan, which to me is always indicating the divine feminine. We see the eagle, which is indicating higher consciousness. We see the lotus flower, which is indicating the emergence. And then we see the yin and the yang, right? We see the divine feminine, divine masculine essence, the sun and the moon. Okay, the opposites, the twin flame energy here. So the integration of the energies. So this is all about the outside factors that have influenced this current situation with the karmic partner or karmic situation. Again, it doesn't have to be a partner, it can be just a situation. I wanted some clarity on this, so I asked for a clarifying card and I got transformation. So there is this sense of, for the divine masculine, that they're starting to integrate this transformation. So they're starting to integrate it on a cellular DNA level as well as an awareness level on the 3D in the physical world. Now, what I also see strongly about this, this is the transformation, this is the ascension experience that the divine masculine is feeling. But I'm also feeling in this card, this is the twin flame dynamic. So what is influencing them at this time? It's their twin flame. They cannot escape this twin flame connection. And because of that, the divine masculine is starting to realize, I just have to accept this. I have no choice but to accept this, because if I continue fighting it, I'm fighting myself. They're starting to realize this is not going to go away, that this pull that they feel towards this individual, towards this soul, has rocked their world, rocked their boat, and it's not going anywhere. So the divine masculine is starting to have a major wake-up call and starting to integrate the energies of this connection into their life. Thank you. So what I'm seeing here, and so that's a package that I just received. So what's interesting about that to me is when we have a package delivery, this is speaking to me that there is going to be massive shakeups and changes, and there's going to be a delivery of sorts. So a transformation, the delivery of the transformation for the divine masculines. But yeah, that's what's causing, the shakeup. That's what's causing, the external factors. It's the twin flame connection. And that is what's causing the shift, is the twin flame dynamic that cannot be hidden. They cannot hide from it any longer. You can't hide from yourself. So when you try to hide from your twin, you're hiding from yourself. But we cannot do that. It's impossible. So next we have hopes and fears. And guys, I got the outsider. So this to me speaks of these divine masculines who may have children, as many of them do, and feeling like they're having to leave their children behind, or they're feeling like maybe an outsider in the lives of their children, if they're having to leave the home, if they're having to move out, if the marriage is crumbling, if the relationship is falling apart and disintegrating, as so many of these karmic situations are at this time and will continue to throughout this year. The divine masculine, his fears are that his children will also lock him out of their lives, that somehow the mother, the karmic, or the father, the karmic parent, the karmic partner, will not allow him to see his children or be a part of his children's lives. So guys, it truly is about the children in this case. If this resonates with you in your situation, it truly is about the children. It's not about the partner. It's not about the karmic partner. It's about them fearing that they're going to do wrong by their children. And for a lot of these divine masculines, that's what happened with their father or mother. Their father or mother left, and they are trying not to repeat the cycle. What the divine masculines are going to realize, though, as they come into this awareness and have this awakening, is that when you live in a household and you're living this false dream, if you will, this false dream of this relationship that died emotionally and spiritually a long time ago, you're actually doing more harm than good for your children, because your children are witnessing what true love isn't. So this is a fear, and this can be overcome. So I might actually do a clarifying card on that. I think I'm going to do a clarifying card on that. Can we clarify the outsider, please, for the divine masculine, for their hopes and fears? Interesting, this card wanted to come out. So we've got Master, the Master. This to me speaks of the Hierophant, the energy of going deep within and finding that spiritual insight and energy and wisdom. So this is their higher self saying that everything is going to be okay. That's what this is. And also the higher self that knows and resonates with these past lives that they've had with you. So this is the higher self reassuring them that this is a past life connection, that this is your destined divine partner, and you cannot do wrong. Moving towards your divine partner, you cannot go wrong. So divine masculine, have the courage to make the decision to be happy because as you choose that, you're showing your children how to do that as well. So releasing that fear, your children will love you, your children will accept you, and just trusting. The divine masculines have to trust that everything will work out the way it's supposed to when they move towards their true love and their true destined path on mission with their twin flame. So lastly, we have the outcome, and we've got comparison. So I found this really interesting, guys, because to me, this speaks about if they stay in the situation, if they don't make any changes and they just continue on, I asked for a clarifier. So not only will they be fighting, now this card came out yesterday in the reading I did for our beloveds. There is fighting, there's absolutely fighting going on, and this is not nice fighting. This is not like a nice friendly debate. This is fighting tooth and nail. It's gritty, it's nasty, there's a lot of anger present. I mean, I don't know, I didn't even see this before, but you see these figures just kind of at each other's throats. This is that kind of fighting, that kind of energy. If the divine masculine stays, they're going to continue fighting about the divine feminine, because she is absolutely a topic on the table. She's a very prominent topic at this present time. There will be comparison to you. That's what will happen. That will be the outcome, is that the divine masculine will continue to compare this karmic partner to you and to the love you shared, how you make them feel, how you see them, how you view them, how you love them. And they will be miserable. They will be miserable because this fighting is not going to cease, because this is not a destined connection. Karmic relationships are not meant to last a lifetime. The divine masculine has stretched this out as long as they possibly can, and the divine is like, I'm done. Like, I'm done waiting. I'm done waiting, and I will continue to deliver tower moments to you. I will continue to deliver tower moments if you do not make the choice divine masculine. So let's just see, in terms of the outcome, what will happen if the divine masculine chooses a divine feminine this time? What will happen if he chooses his destined path and destined partner? So let's have a little fun. You remember those books you used to read when you were little? Choose Your Journey, I think it was called, or something like that. Choose Your Story. Well, we're going to choose our story. So what will happen, let's say not what if, what will happen when the divine masculine chooses the divine feminine? Well, we've got the Fool, guys. The first card, the very first card in our major arcana journey. We've got the Fool. Basically setting all fears out into the wind and just saying, I'm going to do this anyway. I'm going to do this despite the fear. So there will be a new journey, a new chapter, a fresh start. There will be fun and adventure. And it was basically like the divine masculine will feel free and playful and childlike. That's what will happen if the divine masculine chooses the divine feminine. So what else, Spirit? So what else will happen if the divine masculine chooses the divine feminine at this time? When the divine masculine chooses. When the divine masculine chooses. You see what I did there? What will happen when the divine masculine chooses the divine feminine, please? When the divine masculine chooses a divine feminine? Maturity. Because the divine feminine is mature, emotionally, spiritually. She is an evolved soul, and he knows this. He will mature with her. They will mature together. I also see this as the card of growing into old age together. So this will be a connection that will last through the sands of time, through the moon cycles, through the seasons of life. You know, the wheel is turning here. There's growth here, growth and maturity, and there's a beauty that exists underneath the surface. This is not that physical beauty. We love our counterparts and we think that they're the most attractive person on the planet, but it's so much deeper than that. We adore our counterparts because they are our soul's match. This is about the recognition of that the divine masculine will start to recognize this is truly where my happiness is. And that is a level of emotional and mental maturity, realizing what truly makes you happy and living it and choosing it. Yeah, there will be this harmonious existence together, or, you know, I just see two partners, the divine feminine, divine masculine, staring at the stars at night, talking about being star seeds and talking about where they've come from in their past lives together and everything they've overcome to get here, and really all roadblocks and obstacles being washed away, because they're only illusions of the 3D. Guys, do not focus on the obstacles or limitations. The divine masculine does enough of that. Divine feminines focus on the limitless possibilities of existence, okay, of bringing form into existence, of bringing this into the 3D. This is fun. So, sharing. This is beautiful, beautiful energies. Notice the contrast of the energies here, guys, from the karmic partner to the divine feminine. There will be a sharing. I just heard sharing is caring. There will be a spirit. There will be sharing between the partners, a sharing of health and home, a sharing of love, a sharing of friendship and bounty. So let's get one more card. Guys, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's pouring here. Flowering. This is beautiful. This is the lotus flowering, the lotus flower that grows from the mud. And in the trenches, the lotus flower blooms from the mud. He's buried and then she blooms. So this is about the flowering, 2 cards about maturity, the flowering, the evolution of the connection. This is very beautiful. This is also saying the divine feminine will bring out the best in her divine masculine. No 2 cents about it, guys. The divine feminine is the perfect match for her divine masculine. So let's just finish up the reading here with, let's get a message from our divine masculines. So now that we know what's going on at home with the karmic situations, let's get a message from the divine masculines. A message from the divine masculine for the divine feminine. There's a lot of cards here. They're currently they're currently in the experience. I feel like this is saying, I am deep in the throes of experience, divine feminine. I am moving through my karmic lessons. And there's a sense of letting go. They're learning how to let go of this situation. They're learning how to let go. They're also learning how to do nothing, which is really, really beneficial for our divine masculines, who a lot of them were workaholics and didn't know when to stop or how to stop. This is the energy of just, I'm kind of doing nothing, and I'm allowing myself to take this time to really just honor myself and go within. And then we have the energies of adventure and friendliness. So this to me is very much the 3 of Cups kind of energy. This is the divine masculine dreaming about that beautiful relationship and partnership. This is a partnership with his divine feminine. So dreaming of better times, letting go of what he's in right now, and dreaming of the adventure. This is very childlike, that you bring out the child in your divine masculine, dreaming of those adventures that he'll have with you. Is there any last messages from Spirit or Divine Masculine? Yes, there is. The last message today for this reading, guys, stay in your divine feminine power. Receptivity and surrender. Everything will come to you at the perfect time, in the perfect way, with the perfect energy. Trust that everything is coming together. Surrender to the process. Surrender to the timing of it all. In fact, feminines, try to ignore timing for now. Try to ignore the timing and just focus on being in the present moment, because that's all we have anyway. Have a beautiful day, guys. I hope this helps to give you clarity and helps you stand in your power, illuminates your path, and gives you peace of mind and heart. I'm sending you so many blessings, and I'll see you guys soon.